So take us into the process these couple of months before draft night. So players finish their college seasons or wherever they're playing overseas, and usually they move somewhere to train, they attend the combine, they try to get seen. What is that process like behind closed doors before you end up being able to walk across the stage? What do you remember about it?
Well, if you're Cooper Flag, the process is easy. You know, but if you're Tyronn Lue, I had 17 workouts in 30 days. You know, so and I know Dante Jones on my staff, he did 22 in 30 days. And so just trying to travel and trying to, do all these workouts and trying to, make teams like you. It was a hard process. And back then, my hardest workout I ever had was with Jeff Van Gundy, who's on our coaching staff now. And I mean, he kicked my butt, so just doing all the traveling, all the workouts, it was hard to get to that point.
I'm going to make you dive a little deeper there. Be a little more specific about the experience of working out for Jeff for the first time.
Yeah, me and Al Harrington were teammates. We both came out in the draft together, and we had to play 2-on-2 full court for two 12-minute quarters. And I mean, like 10 seconds on the clock, get the ball over half court, you got to attack and score before 10 seconds is over. And then once we got to playing full court for 24 minutes, then we had to run a set of 3:17s under 55 seconds, and it was just the hardest work I've ever been a part of.
Barring a trade, you're going to have a new player, rookie come to this team. What advice would you give that player? And then maybe further, what advice would you have given yourself coming into this league for the first time?
I think being seen and not heard. I think a lot of veterans, they don't like young guys that come into the league doing a lot of talking. I think so. How you earn your teammates' trust and veterans' trust, you got to come in and play hard and compete every single day, and that's what gets you over.
Don't worry about that. Let's go back a couple months now. Obviously, I know you weren't thrilled with how the last day of the season went, but reflecting on the weeks that led up to that, right? Winning 18 out of the last 21, being a team that really, by most barometers, exceeded a lot of what the external expectations were. When you look back on that final run, what are you going to take with you into this upcoming season? What excites you about the group?
I think first, the new building. I think the fans, were amazing.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people didn't believe, like our fans believed, our teams believed that we could be, pretty good with Kawhi only playing maybe 47 games or 45 games. Missing 47 games, playing 35 games. A lot of our guys stepped up and they produced, and everyone had career years. And what I can take from it is just the improvement of Zubac, Norman Powell stepped up, James Harden being all-star. Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr. having career years, and just how we played so hard and competed every single night. And I give a lot of that credit to our coaching staff, and one person for sure is Jeff Van Gundy. I think the defensive job he did this year is amazing. So just looking back on it, like I said, our toughness, our defensive intensity, have finished third in the NBA in defense, but it didn't translate to the playoffs, which is kind of tough for me, but just talking about it through our coaches, Zubac, he protected the paint for us all season long. He did a great job of just protecting. But now when you think about it, and you're playing against the Denver Nuggets, Joker's on the three-point line. So Zoo's on the three-point line, so the guys get beat to the basket, we had no rim protection. We was first in the league in defensive rebounds, we were last the year before, but in this series, the same thing. Zoo's on the perimeter, so the shot goes up, other guys are crashing, and we don't have our center under the basket to help protect and rebound the basketball. So as much as I was mad that it didn't translate to the playoffs, it was for reasons why, and I thought Denver did a good job of just exploiting those matchups. But I'm really happy and proud of our team. I think we got a good chance next year to be pretty good.
The draft is, 10 days later is when summer league begins. You're likely to have one, maybe two players that are new. What are you looking to see of the younger players that are going to be playing in summer league that you will have drafted?
Just how they compete. I think the biggest thing is, coming into the draft, if you're not a Cooper Flag or you're not, those 1, 2, 3 picks, you got to find your way and find your niche to get on the floor. And just seeing if those guys can play without the basketball, because when you come to this team or any other team, if Kawhi Leonard, James Harden's on the floor, you're not going to get 15, 20 shots. So can you play? Can you defend? Do you know how to play the game? Can you make your guys' teammates better? And things like that. And then the most important thing is your attitude of how you go about it.
I'm curious to get a little bit deeper there. some of these players drafted tonight are going to go to teams that don't have the aspirations that a Clippers team might have this upcoming season. They might be able to make more mistakes as rookies. How do you see that when you think of a guy that's going to come and join your team? How is that challenge different when you have to break into a roster that's already good, where the margin of error might be a little smaller?
Like I said, just play hard and compete. I think you win your teammates over by playing hard and competing every single night. That's what Chris Dunn did to us the first day he got here, before training camp. Just picking up full court, guarding, defending, and right away he earned James Harden, Norm, and Kawhi's trust. That's what got him on the floor, and that's why he was so important about him to us.
How key is it that Kawhi Leonard will enter this summer healthy? He had talked about that was his goal, meaning he's going to get to a playoff series. What is he going to be able to accomplish now that he has a full summer in one of the greatest facilities, not just in the league, maybe in the world, when you talk about professional sports? What is he going to be able to accomplish this summer?
Well, I think it's huge for our team because, when you start a season and your best player's out, you have to play a different style of basketball to win games, to try to hold the court down until he gets back. And so we had to play a different style of basketball to try to win games. And then when he came back to try to incorporate him, it was hard. We've been playing a certain style, we've had some success doing it, and now you got to come and incorporate your best player. And so during that time, it was tough for us, So having Kawhi from day one, having a training camp, where we can put in our plays and our sets and understand how we want to play from day one, it's a huge boost for us.
Can you pull back the curtain a little bit more? Ryan mentioned Summer League, which is out in Vegas with a lot of the young players in a couple of weeks. You mentioned training camp. Pull back the curtain. What does life for Ty Lue look like during the offseason as you sort of jump from event to event?
I live in Vegas, and I'll leave it at that. BT, you may not say anything about it. No, but just
all me is over there.
for me, I just get away, have a chance to go home, back to Mexico, go to Vegas where I can just, I like to play poker, I like to shoot craps, and it kind of just, gets me away and takes my mind away from basketball. But the biggest thing for me is I can get away. It's hard for me when we lose during the season and we lose in the playoffs. It's hard for me to watch games after we lose. I just can't do it. And so now the season's over, I'm in a good place now. Now it's all over, I can kind of, exhale.
This might be a leap, and you may not see it this way, but to me, if you're spending your off time, whether it is playing cards, if you're playing a game that involves strategy, that involves pieces on a puzzle, right? How do you sort of see, you're credited for being one of the best game players, best adjustment makers in the league, right? Is there a connection there between your ability to play a game and then excel in these games?
No, it definitely is. I think being able to read your opponent in poker, I think in craps, understand the betting strategies, how you want to bet. When the dealers make mistakes, you got to correct them. All that goes into play, but it just kind of takes my mind away from it, puts me in a different zone, and I kind of enjoy it.
Last question for me anyway, your thoughts on the finals. I thought this was, I don't know how many games you said you didn't like to watch games. This was probably the most entertaining playoffs I've ever seen. This is going back to the 80s. Your thoughts, if I had told you Oklahoma City would have won the championship in March, I don't think anybody would have been surprised, but they went 7 games in 2 different series. Your thoughts on the Thunder, your thoughts on the Pacers getting all the way to the finals?
Like I said, I didn't really watch a lot of the games, but I have a lot of respect for Rick Carlisle. He's won a championship. Just coached against him a couple years in Dallas. He's a fantastic coach, and the way he has his team playing, just picking up full court in all 5 positions, the way they play hard, move the basketball, open guy, receive the basketball. It was beautiful to watch when I did see it. And then Oklahoma City, I thought Mark Dagner did a hell of a job. Just coming from where they come from, being one of the worst teams in the league 4 years ago, to win a championship and having a young group, a young core, to put them together and believe in the right thing. One common goal was winning. The way they played, it was remarkable. So he did a fantastic job as well.
The scouts and the rest of the front office are working round the clock leading up to draft night. What's it like for you to come into the room and be a part of draft night? What's your favorite part of what's about to unfold over these next couple hours?
The favorite part is just seeing the young kids go across the stage and talking about where they came from, how excited they are to be drafted, and then their dreams come true. I think all the hard work they put in to get to this point, and see them finally get a chance to celebrate it, it's amazing feeling.
Ty, we appreciate your time. I know everybody here appreciates it as well.